Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Stevie. And welcome to the Unhinged Smut Book Club podcast. Cheers, bitches. This is a sign from the smut gods.
You guys are doing it.
You're doing it.
You're not doing it.
Not
but you're
doing it.
Every single day I am filled with white hot rage. Almost any woman, extensive checklist for men.
Precisely. I'm about to be so well read up in this bitch. We discuss the most unhinged smut that the publishing world has to offer.
It's a book club, but for sluts.
Hi, Morgan.
Hi.
How you doing?
Welcome back, listeners. I'm doing okay. I'm glad to be back here with you with our normal What Did We Read This Month episode.
I know, we skipped last month because you girls have been in a book slump, y'all.
Yeah, I think for August, each of us only read exclusively for the podcast.
Yeah, and then we both took
Scottish vacations.
Trips to Scotland, one right after the other.
I went from like the 20th of August to the 31st of August, and then you went from the 31st of August until the beginning of September. And we at some point we passed each other.
At some point.
On the motorway.
Yeah. It did happen. But yes, we just decided, call that our summer break. Took an episode off.
Yeah.
We've been going so strong this whole year. I'm so proud of us.
Me too.
Very, minimal complication.
I am glad to be back here in your living room with you.
Yeah.
Recording an episode.
Yeah. It's so nice. Your girl is tired today.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I've been really lucky this pregnancy where I'm not having to pee 800 times a night, but I'm starting to get 2 to 3 times a night. And I'm like, this is bullshit.
It might as well feel like 800 times a night.
It might as well.
And then, you have a toddler on top of all of it. So it's not even like your first pregnancy where you could sleep in a little.
I napped so much my first pregnancy. It was glorious.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing of the past. It's fine. Because it's either take a nap or nest. And frankly, I've been choosing nesting.
Nesting wins almost every time.
You just heard Morgan's caffeine. You're about to hear my caffeine. Because
I muted my microphone for that.
Oh, well, I don't have the mute button on my microphone.
You do not.
So, cheers, bitches. Okay, well, this is the reading wrap-up episode for September. And guess what? Our book slump hasn't really gone anywhere.
Well,
by much, at least, compared to previous.
I think we're coming out of the hole.
I was looking on Libro FM, new releases, and I was like, oh my god. I know. And
so many books came out in August and September.
Yeah.
Specifically September.
I have a very long TBR for next month. So, and I just picked up a physical book from the library.
What book?
I'll talk about it.
Okay.
In a minute. You'll just have to wait to find out.
Yeah, I haven't. That's brand new information to
Keep
me.
you on the edge of your seats. I'm not a big physical book reader because toddler. So, yeah. It's exciting. Do we want to get into it?
Let's get into it. The first book I finished in September was You Again by Kate Goldbeck. And this is it's a contemporary romance. It is 2 people who keep running into each other over and over again in odd and different situations, and they kind of hate each other. And then the very last time they run into each other, they're both going through breakups and dealing with different hard things in their life, and they kind of agree on a truce and to just kind of be friends and see where that goes. So it's like an enemy. They're not really enemies, but they're just, I'm sure you have that person in your life where you're just fucking annoyed by. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh God, this guy. So it's kind of like that.
That is one of your, I don't want to say favorites, but most common reading tropes.
It is.
And I think it's because
it's that to friends to lovers. So it's kind of like the main male character, Josh. Oh my God, please tell me his name is Josh. I'm almost positive it is.
Doesn't matter. He's a guy.
Guy, just random dude.
Generically hot.
Yes. This is basically Raylo fan fiction. Basically. Like, you look at the cover and you're like, is that?
Yes.
Is that? It's basically Raylo fan fiction, or inspired by Raylo. And he is grumpy. He's like this New York. He grew up in a Jewish, like deli, basically a Jewish restaurant which was like incredibly famous throughout the city. They served like incredibly basic food. Things didn't change, you know? People have been coming there for decades. Like, the food never changed. Nothing ever changed. And he wanted more. He thought that the restaurant could be so much more. He's like, can we please put paprika in the egg salad? And his dad was like, absolutely not. We've never done it that way. We will never do it that way. And his dad wanted him to take over the diner, basically. He didn't want to do that. He had aspirations of being like an actual chef, like a yes chef, chef's whites, working in Michelin star kitchens. That was like his dream and his goal. And so when you get into the meat and potatoes of the story and you like actually meet Josh, his dad has passed away. He has stopped cooking. He tried to like take his dad's restaurant and like elevate it into what would be a Michelin star like fine dining restaurant, and it bombed completely because people were expecting the exact same.
I mean, yeah, like if you're a staple in your community, sometimes you just gotta be what you are, mate.
And so
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
He like hasn't picked up a knife in like a year. He like is not cooking. So he broke up with his long-term girlfriend broke up with him. Just so many things. And conversely, Ari, who is the female main character, Ari is flighty. Ari is like, she's so fucking Sagittarius coded in like here for a good time, not a long time. Like, she's not going to commit to any relationship. She's a one night stand only kind of girl. Doesn't really believe in like love and soulmates and things like that. She hates how uptight Josh is. She hates how grumpy he is. She hates that he's like a Hallmark romantic kind of guy and like believes in soulmates. And they find each other when they're both going through like a really difficult time. Ari took the chance and got married to a woman and thought everything was going to be really great. And they opened their relationship, and then it turns out that her wife basically, you know, she just like moved on to someone else who was like younger and more interesting and blah, 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 and divorced her. And so Ari's like, well, I finally took a chance on like marriage and like staying with someone, and it turned out to be horrible, and I lose everyone in my life. And yeah, they just kind of like bonded over like
two very jaded people.
Yeah. And going through like processing their breakup, becoming friends, and it is this like the writing is on the wall for everyone, but Ari is like no, like because she's been left so many times. So I like books like that quite a bit, where like the female main character is either completely blindsided by how the feelings from the male main character are, and usually they're jumping off of the page, or they like don't want to admit their feelings, and the male main character is like yearning and pining. I loved that. There was a lot of emotional growth in the book and a lot of emotional development, and there was also time in the book where they never actually dated, but they kind of had like a third act breakup, and that time got used to really develop their own characterization and kind of develop their own stories and their own plot lines. They spent like a year apart, and I love when books do that as well too.
You do love when books do that.
Just like give your characters a chance to grow. Like, let's be realistic about this. I'm not going to come back to you 72 hours after we've had this like huge breakup and be like, just kidding, I can't live without you. That's not how the real world works.
Not romanticizing codependency.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Not romanticizing codependency. That's exactly it.
I got words of wisdom from time to time.
So this was pretty close to like a perfect contemporary romance for me. So 4.5 stars.
Wow.
It's really good. It was laugh out loud funny, a lot of emotional growth, a lot of realistic characters that I think people can relate to. And it wasn't too syrupy. Yeah, it was just like real life. It was a really good rom-com.
Cute.
Yeah.
You'll never believe it,
Tell me.
also read a rom-com on purpose without it like being forced upon me. A book talk staple. I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore.
Oh.
It was really cute. I had fun. I read it very quickly. It was like a 24-hour read. I think I've seen a lot of people say like it feels like Gilmore Girls. It very much does. She's the new quirky girl in town, and then like the guy who's like grew up there is small town romance, New England vibes. Is cute. So you have your female main character Jeannie, whose aunt owns this cafe, is retiring, and leaves it to her. It's like, here, come take it over. And Jeannie, she was like this big business bitch in,
Of course she was.
where was it, Chicago or something? Doesn't matter, in a city. And
Generic big city.
right, think Hallmark movie.
Yes.
And then she goes into work. She's the assistant to like a big deal dude, and finds him dead at his desk. He just died there.
Heart attack.
And she kind of had this epiphany moment of like, oh my God, that's gonna be me. Like, I live, breathe, eat, work, and I'm always here.
Good for her.
I don't want to fucking die here. Like,
At my desk, and they find me Monday morning.
literally.
Like that poor Wells Fargo lady.
Yeah, like for what?
For what?
And so and then this opportunity comes up, and she's like, absolutely. You know, she's nervous, new to town, doesn't know anyone, hasn't done this before, even though she has like a business degree, so she's not like a complete idiot. She's getting like mixed signals from the people who've worked with her aunt of like whether or not they even want her here. But she's like, fuck you, this is my business. I'm doing it.
I'm the boss.
Yeah. And then she has this like apartment above the cafe, very much like Luke at Luke's. She is being kept up all night by like spooky sounds and like scratches at her door and noises in the alleyway, which she's like, it's barely an alleyway. Like, it looks like a little like cute little walking path. Like, it's not like a gritty city alleyway.
She needs a white noise machine.
Truly. It's very much like I'm used to a city where there's noise all the time, and then when you're in a small quiet place and there's just occasional noises, those are so much scarier. And so she goes to the town meeting, a la Gilmore Girls, and brings up the issue and is like, I'm hearing noises at night, blah, blah, blah. And then someone basically like volunteers this guy to... It's very much like me when I was a teacher and I could tell two of my like middle schoolers had a little crush on each other. I would sit them next to each other on purpose.
So diabolical.
It was so diabolical. It was so fun. And also, class has never been quieter because they just avoided eye contact the whole time. It was great. 10 out of 10 teaching strategy. Highly recommend. And so, yeah, there's like meddling people in the town who are like, Logan will help you. And Logan's like, the fuck? I have a full-time job. What?
Logan's like, I'm busy.
Right. But he's also like, fine, I guess I will help this new beautiful woman and make her feel safe. And they like literally camp out in the cafe. You know, it's a small town. They keep seeing each other. He's a little jaded by a woman who he dated who was like, came to town on vacation from a big city.
Can't trust those big city women.
I know. And then
they don't understand us here in this small town.
Sure don't.
Life is so different here.
Yeah. And she like just didn't want to settle down there. And he's like, I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not leaving the city.
I have a family farm to take care of.
Oh, of course he does.
Of course he does.
Logan. Of course his name is Logan.
Mm-hmm. And
but he's tall and he wears flannel.
Beard,
rolled up flannel.
I kept looking at my husband.
Forearms.
I was like, this male main character sounds just like you. It's hot. Love it. Um, he's hesitant because he doesn't want to be hurt again by a woman from a big city who's like, how permanent is she? And then she sees how like beloved and protected he is by the people in his community. And she was like, I don't want to date this person and it just not work out. And I'm the new one here.
Yeah.
And
I'm
like
the pariah.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but they of course end up kind of like pushed together, and it's cute. It's got some spice. It's very like spice my mom would read, you know what I mean? But like it's does the job. And yeah, it's just really cute. And then I forgot I started another one of the books from these series. I started the Cinnamon Bun.
That's it, the Cinnamon
Bookstore.
Bun Bakery
Bookstore.
Jesus.
And then I have the Gingerbread Bakery on hold on Libby. But yeah, I started the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, but Libby took it away from me. It's fine. I'll get back to it. That one seems really cute because it's this like reserved. It's very much one of those series where you meet all of the side characters and you kind of learn to love them in the first book, and you're like, oh, I want to see you fall in love now. So now it's the bookstore owner who's like kind of the nerdy, reserved, like in a routine, reliable, dependable.
Yeah.
And she has this like romantic tension going with a fucking like fisherman who's been all over the world and has tattoos and is like a little bit of a fuckboy, but he's like so obviously so into her in a way that is different from, you know, the tourists that he would fuck on his fishing boat.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. It's back on hold. I'm excited to read that one again. But yeah, I gave this like a good 4 stars. Like it was just really enjoyable. I read it really quick. It was perfect for what it was. It was a good time. Nice. There's a reason why people in Book Talk love it. That's what you never know is like, it's either going to be wonderful or terrible. And this is one of those ones that's like, okay, that was cute. I get it. Okay, your turn.
I finished The Briar Club by Kate Quinn. That was a local book club book. And that was really good.
I wanted to read that one. I was intrigued.
You should have read it.
I probably will eventually.
It is presented as a murder mystery. No. I mean, it kind of is, but the murder mystery happens in like these little epigraphs between chapters. So you get like 4 pages of like what is currently happening with like the police being there and investigating. And it's like as each new, it is a boarding house in the 1950s, 1950 to 1954 during the Red Scare and the McCarthy era. And it is set in DC in Foggy Bottom. So that's all very like relevant and like pertinent to the story as things go on. But it's a boarding house in this old brownstone where a bunch of women live. And they're, for the most part, single women. And it's run by this woman named Mrs. Nielsen. I don't think we ever get her first name. And her 2 children live there, Peter and Nora. Pretty sure Nora is her name. Regardless. And Peter is 13 when the book opens, and the book opens with this woman named Mrs. March coming to rent a room at the boarding house. And once Miss March moves in, the house kind of like starts to come alive because she really invites people into her world. She starts talking to Peter. She's really good at recognizing like what people need.
So it socially comes alive, not magically.
Yes.
Got it.
Well.
Okay. Oh.
So the house starts, socially comes alive. She's really good at recognizing like what people need. So Peter's 13 and he's a growing boy. And for the first like chapter or so, you're in Peter's point of view. And Peter is talking about like his dad is gone. He really wants his dad to come back. His dad like came home from the war and then seemed a little crazy and then left and went to New York to work a job. And he like doesn't contact them anymore, which is why his mom started to rent the rooms out. So they had a way to make income. And his mom has become this like very jaded, cheap woman where one of the things that is noted is Peter is looking at the groceries that his mom brought home that day, and she brought home 3 pork chops because that is what was fair. They would each get a pork chop, him, his sister, and his mom. But he's like, I feel like I could eat all 3 of them and then also gobble up like XYZ. And Miss March, starts to notice that about Peter. And so like she, like slips him some sandwiches, and he starts to open up, and he talks about his dad, how his dad used to play ball with him in the yard. And on Thursdays when his mom would go to bridge club, they would make Swedish meatballs. So then Grace is like, okay, Peter, come on in. We're making Swedish meatballs tonight. Peter, I need your help with something. We're making Swedish meatballs, but you know how to make them. I don't know how to make them. And so people just kind of the other women of the boarding house just start to kind of like, every Thursday they have the Briar Club. They have like a little supper club where somebody takes a turn cooking and they all eat.
Cute.
And Grace is just like very warm, and she becomes like the cornerstone in all of these different women's lives. And so the book opens on like the murder mystery of like what is happening in this house. They're interviewing Mrs. Nielsen. Mrs. Nielsen accuses there's a dead body in the house and somebody killed it. And so Mrs. Nielsen is like, I know who killed it. It was Grace March. And so then it's like you kind of get like Grace coming into the house, and then you get Peter's perspective, and then you get different characters' perspective. Lena is the sister's name because Nora is the Irish woman that lives in the book. Anyway, you get all these different characters' perspectives, and you get their backstory. And that is really what becomes the meat and potatoes of the book, is the women's backstories and how Grace has kind of woven herself into all of their lives. And when you are in the in-between chapters, that is from the house's perspective, and the house, it's like being narrated by the house. And it is a little confusing up to a certain point when the house does say, that it is a half sentient house. And the house feels like it started to come alive when Grace moved in. Because like Grace is like painting vines on the walls and like putting up yellow curtains, and suddenly like the community is alive within the house. And so that is really the meat and potatoes of the book. And then the murder mystery kind of happens like in between, and you wrap up the book with the murder mystery being unmysteried, with like finding out what happened.
Being solved?
Not solved.
Oh. Interesting.
If I don't want to say too many things.
Okay.
Well, because it's like a who done it, and so you find out who done it, but it's not. It was never a mystery to the characters in the book. It's only a mystery to you as the reader.
Interesting. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But this was really good. I honestly, 5 stars. It was not a deeply like. It didn't move me. It wasn't, but it was a really good read. It was a really easy read. There's recipes that everybody makes. Like, so when you're in somebody's perspective and they're making a dinner for the Briar Club, you get that recipe.
That's fun.
And if I felt really bad, but I had only started the book like the day before book club, and I didn't realize that was the case, like going into it. If I would have read it ahead of time, I probably would have taken one of those recipes and like made something. Yeah. I think we all had thought that of like, wouldn't it be cool if we would have made the recipes from the book? But like, I'll try the Swedish meatballs recipe, and there was a gumbo recipe.
Ooh.
And there were some that were like silly, and I'm obviously not going to try them, of like stuff in Jell-O.
Yeah.
Because it's the 1950s. But it was a really good book. Good plot twists. Good characters. Characters you want to root for.
Nice.
Deep, complex, emotional women. Emotional, not in the sense of like hysterical, but just like women with deep emotions. And kind of just like, how they have to live their lives.
Nice.
Good book.
Okay, well, I'm going with a book I DNF'd from 5 star. I don't often DNF stuff, but I think especially when I'm in a book slump of like, why am I making myself read this thing I'm not enjoying? And I had such high hopes. It was called Love and Other Conspiracies by Mallory Marlowe. And it has 3.9 stars on Goodreads, which is like pretty high. And it like wasn't bad. My biggest thing is I couldn't get into the female main character. I just like didn't like her.
Fair enough.
And so I was like, fuck this. But the concept sounded so interesting because she is this like LA native, but like the like poor kind, not like daddy's money LA, like LA for what it actually is. And she kind of has that like snooty doesn't feel like the right word. Snooty feels like it implies rich, but like I know LA better than other people, and the traffic on the and I'm just like, you sound miserable to have a conversation with. You know what I mean? Just like those people who just like,
the author probably doesn't live in LA and has never lived in LA and was just
maybe
probably making assumptions about LA.
Hold on, let me read her author profile real quick. She lives in Los Angeles, California. I think this was the wider Los Angeles County. Anyways, so she works for essentially BuzzFeed, making online content. And she was dating this guy who was already kind of successful in this like BuzzFeed company. But she essentially was like feeding him all of her ideas. And then he dumped her, and he was like so in her head of like, you won't succeed, blah, 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 blah. Like had her like so riddled with self-doubt that it took her forever to leave. And like, kind of just like, you know, those relationships you look back on and you're like, was that abusive? That might have been abusive. You know what I mean? Like real shitty guy. They still work together. That's annoying. There's like one higher up that sees him for what he is, obviously a woman, but everyone else loves him, and she's like, ugh. And so there's this competition they do, produce, you know, like a mini series, and whoever does the best will fund you to keep doing that mini series. And so she's like, I have to do this or I'm just like done, because she's kind of become like, she's kind of made herself like obsolete in the company because she was like afraid to do anything essentially. And her boss is like, hey, come to Jesus moment. You either need to give me something good or like be prepared to be let go. And so she has this idea as she like wakes up in the middle of the night and sees this guy on basically like an Ancient Aliens type of thing, and it's like podcast host talking about, you know, whatever paranormal conspiracy theory. And she was like, this is insane. I don't believe in any of this stuff, but this guy is magnetic. Like he is like, I see talent where talent is, you know? And so she reaches out to him. She like listens to all of his podcasts, and it's like, oh my gosh, it sounds like every podcast that I listen to, which I did enjoy that part. And she's like, please, 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 for the love of God, work with me. And he agrees. And he's like hot, obviously. That's kind of where I left off because I just couldn't get into her. And maybe she has a character arc that makes her more likable, but I'm like, you just
probably not.
You don't seem like a person I'd want to hang out with. And if the female main character, unless it's obvious that she's on like an emotional journey, you know what I mean, of like self-growth, if I don't want to be your friend, I don't want to read your story.
Fair enough.
And so personally I DNF'd it, but I'm not going to say that the story didn't have like potential for where it was going. It could have turned out great, but I was not in the headspace to see it through. So that's that. What you got for me?
This was an audio book only because it was an audio forward book. There might be a little ebook for it, but I haven't looked. Love and Other Killers by Bryn Weaver, which is an 1.5 hour long audiobook that bridges her 2 series. So it bridges the Ruinous Love series. You remember the prologue? Spoiler alert if you haven't finished it. The epilogue, where it's like the double epilogue, right? Where it's like they've shown up in this town, Rowan's dressed up as fucking Soul, with the poster paint, and Sloane goes into a bar and like is trying to do some recon, and then they're going through the hike in the woods to their target, and Sloane makes eye contact with that woman who she had rescued from Harvey Meads
in Texas.
So you get that. So you get the scene of Sloane going into the bar and like doing the recon, and you get a little bit of kind of like the family at the cabin, and like they teamed up like boys versus girls for this kill.
Cute. It's almost like an extended epilogue.
Yes. And then you get a little bit of the perspective. You really don't get much of the perspective of that other woman. It is mostly from Sloane's perspective for the most part. And Sloane, you get them finding that serial killer, and you get them doing their job as these vigilante killers do. And you get like a spicy scene from Rowan and Sloane, and that's it. And like that's pretty much it. It's like an hour and a half. It's only on Audible, but I was opening up Audible for something else that I like, a book I already had in my library to listen to, and I saw that and I was like, this is only an hour and a half. I have an hour and a half's worth of chores to do. This is perfect. So that was really good. If you are into the Ruinous Love trilogy series and you are looking forward to Taurus season, it is not necessary. It's just like bonus content.
Fun.
Yeah.
And that's a good segue. Next month, This month, we changed our October book. We started with a book that we had scheduled, and I just immediately was like, this is not our vibe. Like, not in a way it's bad, but just like this isn't the right fit for us as readers or our show, I feel like. It's just a little too dark.
We're not dark romance people for the most part.
We've dipped our toes in it, and it's just like...
I'm not a dark romance person, personally.
It's not fun to make an episode about.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because we did it with Death's Obsession.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a bummer.
Yeah, it was a bummer. We like to hee ha ha.
Yeah, part of the fun of the Unhinged Smut Book Club is that we're laughing.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we opted to, well, Morgan reminded me that Taurus season came out, and I was like,
last week.
This is a sign from the smut gods.
Yeah.
That it is okay for us to change our minds and change direction a little bit, because it is Bryn Weaver, it's murdery, it's silly. It's not like the most Halloween-y, but I think like the murder aspect of it makes it like a slasher film that's like Halloween enough for me.
Yeah.
And so our October book is now Taurus season by our girl Bryn Weaver, because we love her and she has never let us down.
No?
So
I've never been let down by Bryn Weaver.
Ever.
So I am excited to read that.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. Okay. I have a book that I started.
Cool.
And I knew this would take me a long time. I am so excited for this book, but I forgot how feminist rage it makes me. And it is A Theory in Drowning by Ava Reid, which is the second book. I believe it's a duology.
Yes, I believe so.
It is the next book in the series, A Study in Drowning series. The first book is A Study in Drowning. This is I'm sorry, not A Theory in Drowning. I'm losing my mind. Pregnancy brain. So sorry. Okay. The first book in this series is A Study in Drowning. The book I'm currently reading is A Theory of Dreaming by Ava Reid. Get it together. So this is, in the first book, they kind of take this, they're both, the FMC and MMC are both researching a very beloved author and learn about him and kind of bring things to light that is very like scandalous kind of. And so it's not being received very well by the general public, and they're both students at this school, and the school is like, yes, let's publish this, we'll keep your names private, like blah blah blah, there's enough evidence here that we want to publish it, but they're also like didn't protect their identities, and their schedules are public information. And so they're being harassed by reporters, and he's kind of like he is of mixed heritage. His dad is from a place that like this country's at war with. It gives very like England and Scotland, how there's always been like tensions there. So imagine like he's half Scottish during different periods of time in England. And she's a woman, and is now the first woman allowed in the literary college.
I remember you saying that.
Do you have sympathy, pregnancy brain? I get
yes,
it.
Yes, no.
But yeah, so they are now, they're kind of, there's, it's a very like magical realism kind of series.
Where like we live in the real world, but magic is there.
Yeah, there's a lot of like a very blurred line between religion and magic. You know, like the more rural areas are like, no, this is all real, and about like superstitious religious things. And then other people from the wealthier, more populated areas are like, oh, those silly hillbillies, basically, like thinking all of this is real. And so like as they were researching in the first book, they experienced things that both of them couldn't explain. And this book, they're investigating like, what is this magic? What's the source? Like, what's going on? And yeah, I mean, it's interesting so far, but I can only dedicate so much time to it because, as we just discussed, I have plenty of real world things to be angry about. Reading about this like young girl minding her fucking business but being harassed and snickered at and like talked down to and all of the things by men is just gonna push me over the edge. And I have to stay sane at least a little bit.
That keychain that I gave you,
it's perfect. It's on my key ring.
I found a keychain. I think I bought that keychain in like March.
That's funny.
It was the intention of giving it to you for your birthday, and then you were gone, and I forgot because I have ADHD. So
as you do,
out of sight, out of mind. Like object permanence means nothing to me. But I just threw Stevie a baby shower over the weekend, and I gave her a little keychain that says "Fueled by coffee and feminist." It's like iced coffee and feminist rage, something or caffeine like and feminist rage, something like that, or female rage. And I was like, this is exactly it for her.
I need you to know, Morgan made me a bunch of my like favorite things, namely everything bagels, other flavored bagels as well. And I posted some pictures, including the food that she made from fucking scratch, like goddamn Stop Betty Crocker. And Morgan, the amount of people who were like, did she have those shipped in?
No, they did not.
Yeah, my mother-in-law was like, she should go into business. Those look amazing.
No, she should not.
I'm just saying. My mother-in-law's a smart woman.
I don't have the follow-through.
I feel that.
But
we both said that about a podcast previously. Because I threw it out there like for a second and you were like, Steve, you know both of us do not have the combined cognitive functioning to make that happen. And here we are. So you can do anything you set your mind to.
Yeah.
With ADHD medication that isn't out of stock.
Oh, thank goodness. I started taking it again today.
Woo!
I feel alive again.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, I've been avoiding taking my ADHD medication because I'm like, I'll save it for what's important. Turns out daily life is important.
Who knew?
But yeah, I feel like a human again. I thank you for those kind words about my bagels. I appreciate that. I don't know how to respond right now.
Yeah. I like made like a internet post about Morgan and how much I love her and feel loved by her, and then I texted her privately as well and I was like, hey, by the way, genuinely, sincerely, you're the best friend I've ever fucking had, and I'm gonna die without you.
I hate those.
And you're like, Morgan, I threw you, or no, you're like, Steve, I threw you a party with 5 people in my living room. You can calm down.
Yeah.
Like, it's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. You don't understand.
I don't know, man.
I just have middle child syndrome so bad. So when anyone like goes out of their way for me, I'm like,
this wasn't even out of my way. It was in my house.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So
you can just be like, oh, I saw this and thought of you. I'll be like, you thought of me? It's really pathetic.
I don't think enough people realize about Sagittarians is that like we thrive in the limelight, but only when we so choose. Mm-hmm. And so when the limelight is thrust upon us, we're like, no,
do not wish to be perceived.
Yeah,
that is peak fucking baby Morgan. Mm-hmm. Tell you what.
Yep.
Tell you what.
Yep. That is exactly who that kid is. She loves to be the center of attention, but as soon as as soon as she's not the one pulling focus, as soon as focus is being put upon her instead of her pulling focus, that girl does not wish to be perceived. And she gets violent, like a wild animal, like a spotlight on a tiger. Anyway.
God love her. All right. What's your next book?
I am almost finished with this book, so I don't know exactly how it ends. But I know a plot twist that's coming because I figured it out because I have ADHD and aggressive pattern recognition. So this book didn't really get one over on me with it because I have seen it coming for a while now. Anyway, it is called Don't Let the Forest In by C.J. Drews.
You've talked about this one before.
Yes. I don't think I've talked about it on the pod. I think I've just talked about it with you.
I think it was on your TBR.
Yes, and I showed you. I have a
you showed me
paperback copy of
pictures.
it with the illustrations in it. It is really good.
Yeah.
It is about two young boys, Andrew and Thomas. They're seniors in high school, at like a boarding school. And Andrew likes to write stories, spooky stories, stories with angst and tension and yearning and maybe a little bit of like trauma. And Thomas likes to draw the characters from Andrew's stories. And Andrew writes stories about, like, he makes up characters like the Forest King and like these little wood sprites and all sorts of
Very
just,
like classic fae looking things.
yeah,
but,
like creepy monsters. Like we're talking traditional fae.
Yeah,
of, like
not
scary fae.
not ACOTAR fae.
Yeah, not sexy fae. We're talking scary fae. Please do not go into the fairy circle.
Oh my gosh,
People.
in Scotland, we went to Isle of Skye. The amount of people, it's like a thing to like walk around this fairy circle.
It's the Fairy Glen.
Is that Fairy Glen? Yes. Which, oh my God, is stunning. Stunning. Worth the trip. It was so cool. I felt like I was on a different planet.
Yes.
It was amazing. But yeah, just the amount of people just like ring around the fairy circle. And
We can go around the fairy circle.
No, like in the loops to the center and then back out again.
But we do not go into the fairy circle.
No. And my husband was like, I want to do that. Why not? And I was like, you absolutely the fuck not, Mr. Stevie. Absolutely. We have children to take care of.
Yeah.
I can't raise children with a changeling.
No.
You're the breadwinner of this household.
I barely let my daughter do the tooth fairy because I'm like, we do not need the fae coming into our house and stealing our bones.
I have not done any like spooky ghost investigations as much as I've wanted to because I've either been pregnant or I constantly have my toddler with me and I don't want to give birth to or raise any possessed children.
Yeah.
I'm a superstitious ass bitch.
I have a healthy amount of respect for the supernatural.
Yeah.
There's superstitions for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Andrew is in love with Thomas, and the perspective is all from Andrew. And Andrew kind of has like these breakdowns where he's kind of like having a panic attack, but he's not actually having a panic attack. And the forest and his like spooky stories have come to life, and they are infiltrating his world. And it's kind of like the mystery is like, why is this happening? Like, what is happening? And then there are other things, like there's a plot twist that I know is coming up. On the audiobook, it says I have 40 minutes left in it. So I haven't looked, but I have like a small amount left, like in the paperback copy of it. So I know I'm almost finished with it, but I clocked there's a plot twist that's coming up literally within probably the next 5 minutes of the audiobook. But you like slowly Andrew and Thomas start to go into the forest, and they're like fighting off these monsters and like killing these monsters every single night. And they're exhausted, and they're still trying to keep up with everything, and they're trying to like protect themselves and like try and figure out like their own relationship, because like Andrew has feelings for Thomas, but Andrew is like, well, Thomas will never want to be with me. Thomas is in love with my twin sister.
T.
Yeah, T. But like, it's very clear that Thomas has feelings for Andrew as well too. It just isn't obvious to Andrew.
Yeah.
Because he's a teenage boy.
Yeah.
And navigating those feelings as like a queer
boy.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah. Who has panic attacks.
Yeah.
Who is anxious and is asexual. Right, like
interesting.
He like comes out in the book as like asexual, and he's like, Thomas will never want to be with me because like I'll never want to like have intimacy.
That has to be so... I've thought about this so many times before for like ace people who do want like a romantic partner.
They want romance but not intimacy.
Exactly. Like that has to be...
They don't want sexual intimacy. They want other intimacy.
Yeah. Or varying degrees, whatever. But like that has to be so hard to navigate. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the ace community.
Yeah, way to go. You guys are doing it.
You're doing it.
You're not doing it.
Not
but you're
doing it. You're doing your best. I hope. And I hope that you find someone who will love you and never ask anything of you physically that you don't want to do. Anyways.
But it has been a really good book. It's been spooky. It's been like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. And like I said, I know there's a plot twist coming. I saw it a while back.
Yeah.
But I can't say I know how it ends because I truly don't. I have an idea of how it's going to end, but I truly don't know how it's going to end. And for that, I need to go back and finish it. But
Truly.
I would say there is nothing so far about this book that has led me to the point to say, don't read this. Everything about this book has been like, please read it. If you want something a little spooky, a little, where's this going with like deep emotions, and also like, am I going psychotic, or is this just the main character because I'm in their point of view? Like,
oh yeah, that like, is this
am I
person
losing
crazy
my mind
or is
too?
this really happening?
Yeah,
I love that in a book. Yeah.
So that's it. I won't give it stars yet, but I would recommend it.
I think for you, the fact that you're like, I don't feel confident saying how it's going to end yet is a big point in its favor.
Yes, because as we determined maybe 20 minutes ago, I have an aggressive form of pattern recognition. And I think it's been written because there were hints early on for this one exact plot twist that I know is coming. There were hints earlier on in the book that I like picked up on, like differences in characters' behavior that were noted.
Okay.
It was like, oh, they usually do XYZ like this, and now they're doing XYZ like this. And I was like, oh, that's odd behavior. And then I like, there was like one other thing where like the behavior was different. And I was like, oh, I know what it is.
Interesting.
And we're getting to the point now where it's like, I've watched Andrew's spiral and I know exactly what is about to happen, but I don't know how it's going to end.
Fun. I'm excited to hear your reaction to the ending.
Yeah.
So all I have left now is my TBR for next month. Where are you at with your...
That's pretty much it. I did start this morning Soul Searching because today is publication for Soul Searching by Lila Sage.
That's on my TBR.
Happy Pub Day, Lila.
Speaking of women who've never let us down.
Lila Sage.
Love her.
Love her.
Not unhinged enough for this podcast, but...
No. But
highly recommend. Beloved by the hosts of the Unhinged Smut Book Club.
Yeah, so today's pub day for Soul Searching, so I started listening to that. Other things on my list for my TBR, obviously Taurus season, When the Dragon Wakes, The Dragon Wakes with Thunder, which is part 2 of a book. It was that Mulan retelling that I read earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Where like the book ended and I was like, I'm satisfied with how this book ended. There does not need to be a part 2, but I am excited for part 2. So The Dragon Wakes with Thunder by KX Song came out last month. So I'm excited to read that. And I am sure I could go on and on for days, but I started Soul Searching today. I saw my little sticky note when one of the last times I was on my computer, and I saw that in Taurus season and yada, yada, yada. So what have you got? You have like an actual list of books you want to read this month?
I have a lot of nonfiction, surprising. I've been off my nonfiction game. But yeah, so Soul Searching, and then the rest is nonfiction. One of them I have on Libby right now called Who Cooked the Last Supper by Rosalind Miles, which is basically like talking about the erasure of women in history because like, and so I'm going to read like.
I never thought of that.
Right? And now, like ever since reading that title, hearing that title, I was like, who did cook the Last Supper? Oh my God. And so Part of the description says, without politics or polemics, this brilliant and witty book overturns centuries of preconceptions to restore women to their rightful place at the center of culture, revolution, empire, war, and peace, spiced with tales of individual women who have shaped civilization, celebrating the work and lives of women around the world, and distinguished by a wealth of research. Who Cooked the Last Supper redefines our concept of historical reality. So I'm excited for that one.
I have goosebumps.
Oh my God, literally, I see them.
I have never thought about until this exact moment. I mean, I think like I always knew, but I never, where have all the women been in history?
Uh-huh.
And like, I know in my day-to-day life how women prop up everything.
Uh-huh.
Nothing happens without women.
Uh-huh.
Good or bad. Nothing happens without women.
Uh-huh.
Where have the women been through history?
Uh-huh.
Why have we not been talking about them?
Because men deem domestic labor as unimportant and invisible, and
every single day I am filled with white hot rage. Men need to stop. They need to stop.
They need to start in jail and earn their way out. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. Now that I'm not having a son of my own, I'll stand 10 toes down on that. Now that I'm securely a girl mom, lock him up.
Do you ever forget, because it happens to me all the time, that all men aren't your husband? Because like my husband, girl's girl.
Uh-huh.
Most
of my husband's friends are women. I would say most. Probably more like 50-50 now, but like
a lot of my husband's friends are women.
Yeah.
Women are usually like his coworker friends, usually women.
Mm-hmm.
When he was standing in the kitchen on Sunday chatting with folks during the baby shower, talking to the other men, and like they were talking sports in there, and I looked at him and I was like, are you okay? Because like he would have much rather been in the living room kikiing with all of us. Like that's where he would have been. I don't know. He loves, and he's always been this way, where like most of his friends were women. He adores women, not in a creepy way, but in like he has a high amount of respect for women. He thinks women are funnier than men. He thinks women are nicer to talk to. Obviously, like he's a Kinsey Zero, so like women are nicer to look at for him. But he's not out here like objectifying women. But like women smell nice. Women dress nice. Women are funny. Women are kind. Women are nice to look at. Women just in general. Like he just enjoys the company of women more so than he enjoys the company of other men. And he has a good amount of reverence for women in general, like period, point blank. And I forget all the time that like all men are not my husband.
Truly. The amount of times I've told my husband or other people, like, if anything, God forbid, were to happen to where we were not together anymore, I genuinely cannot see myself
pursuing another man. Not
only because, at least like physically right off the bat, I'm very demisexual with men. Women, I'm like a perv. TBH. I'm significantly more physically attracted to women. But truly, genuinely, on God, I do not think another man could fill my husband's shoes.
I say that all the time. He is the first and last man I will ever love.
Exactly. Like there's just no one.
First of all, I'm not going to house train another one.
No. I didn't have to do a lot for this guy, but yeah.
I'm not house training another one.
No.
But also, why?
Yeah.
Why? They'd have to be incredibly special.
Compares.
They'd have to be incredibly, like...
They would have to fall into my lap and be, like, perfect right out the bat.
Yes.
Yeah.
With a checklist, basically.
Essentially, yeah.
I didn't realize I had a checklist for men, but I do.
Yeah.
Almost any woman, extensive checklist for men.
Precisely.
As is the bisexual experience.
Yeah. Literally. But also 107 Days by Kamala Harris came out.
It did come out.
Which I originally wasn't all that intrigued by, and then I heard a couple clips on TikTok and I'm like, oh, she's spilling tea.
Yeah, like, she is.
Like, she's just saying, like, this is exactly what happened. This is how decisions were made. This is, like, where I agreed, where I didn't agree. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to read that.
Yeah.
I might have to. And then one you've read, but it's been on my TBR for a while, is Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green.
Yay!
I'm excited for that one.
Super fun book.
I love. It's biology. It's like sociology. It's history. It's epidemiology, which is like a fun little side biology special interest of mine.
It'll piss you off.
Oh, I'm sure. Most things do.
It'll piss you off. But he ends it hopefully, which is good.
Yeah.
So, most things do. That's the white hot rage. It's feminine rage.
Truly. Yeah.
All the time.
Constantly.
I don't know a woman who's not full of feminine rage all of the time.
I wish I was one. I wish I could be one. Sometime. Well, not. I guess not really. Not if it meant putting my head in the sand, which it would. But
it would.
Sometimes I look at these people who are just like, la, 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 the
like,
men will take care of everything. And I just have to be white and fawn a little, and it'll be okay. What's it like to live with a mind like that? It must be so peaceful. Like, I won't lie. There is an element of jealousy there.
I don't think...
under the judgment.
At least since my frontal lobe has formed, but definitely I could not even tell you a time before then when I thought the men will take care of things.
No.
But at least since... It's been 10 years since my frontal lobe has formed. So at least since my frontal lobe has formed, mm-hmm. I have never looked at a situation and been like, the men will take care of that.
No.
Because again, as we go back to the history of things, where have the women been? Because everything gets propped up by women.
I know. I think I have a healthy balance because I have a really wonderful father.
Oh, I mean,
but
Richard took care of things.
No. I know. I'm not saying that. I mean, in the sense of like, made sure I knew how to take care of myself, was set up for success.
Got it.
Was very reliable. But also I had a mom who had been with a lot of shittier men mm-hmm. and unreliable men, and to this day, 20 years into a very healthy, happy marriage, still keeps secret stashes of cash in case she needs to get out right now.
I don't blame her.
To this day. Yeah.
I put a lot of confidence in my husband that I don't have to do that, but sometimes I'm like, should I be doing this?
It haunts my dreams, Morgan. It haunts my dreams. I cried from like straight up panic when it was time to combine finances with my husband, and when I quit my job to like come over to Europe for his career.
Yeah.
I can't think. Even now, after he has proven himself a wonderful human being, I cannot think of it, or I will spiral.
So I had that panic attack really early on.
Yeah.
Of just like, I'm not going to have any money. What if XYZ happens? And it was very much, we weren't even married yet. And he was like, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And yeah, we combined finances really early on. We weren't married yet, but it made the most sense. I was talking about this with our neighbor today because she and I went and had coffee, and she's having in a similar boat that I'm in of like, I am highly qualified and highly skilled, and finding employment since being here has been really difficult. And for me, the contract that I did have on base, they're not renewing. And so it's been a lot of like, why am I not good enough for you people?
Yeah.
And so she's kind of having similar feelings of like, why am I not good enough for you people? Because she's highly qualified and highly skilled.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about this today, that it just made sense for my husband and I to combine finances really early on, because he always made more money than me. Mm-hmm. So it didn't make...
more consistent money.
Yeah.
At the very least.
No, he's always made more money than
I know,
me.
but like, it is his consistent job. You are the one who has to uproot your job.
But when I did have a consistent job, it was still... because I worked for Lush for all of those years, and it was very consistent, and I had very consistent hours because... Again, part of my spiral recently has been, I am beloved at all of the places that have had to say goodbye to me. So I do not understand why you people don't want me.
As someone who has worked for you, yes, can confirm.
I'm a good employee and I'm a good manager. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, that's why I'm like, what do you mean?
Do you know what I almost forgot?
Oh my God, the book. This has gone so far, like into so many different topics and subjects.
If you've hung around, you get to find out about my mystery library. I picked up a physical book from the library, which for me is a very fun deal. The cover intrigued me. It's called Broken Ghosts by J.D. Oswald. Ghosts, you have my attention. I'm sad. And it is about this woman who is from Scotland. Her family dies in a fire, and she has to move to live with other family in Wales. I'm about to go on a trip to Wales, so that's why I was like, okay, this is the time to get it, because I like to do that. You know, like read a book where it takes place where I'm going. Essentially, there's this like mysterious girl who lives in the woods with no shoes on that she meets, and it's I think it's going to be like what's real, what's not real. Like it gives the vibe of like folklore-y elements. I'm excited about it. We'll see.
I love those things.
We'll see.
Wales is very cool.
I'm super excited.
I've only ever been to South Wales, but
I think we're going to be in North Wales. So
yeah, like Snowdonia.
Close to that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're going. The UK has a bunch of these like caravan parks where you basically rent a trailer home. And
that was my trip to Scotland. We stayed at like caravan parks and campgrounds.
Yeah. And it's like super cheap, but you're bringing toilet paper. Like you're bringing everything.
Yeah.
And so, which is fine. But we're mainly going, honestly, to check a country off our list. If I'm being 100% with you right now.
You got to hit them all.
Yeah.
While you're here on the island.
Yeah. See natural landscape and check boxes of countries.
My favorite thing to do.
That are driving distance.
I love to see natural landscapes.
Love a landscape. Hot take. I love natural beauty. Crazy. Anyways, I think we're done here.
I think we're done. We've ranted and rambled and so many things, and it's fine. Nonsense. This is nonsense.
But yeah, I am about to have a baby. It could be in 2 weeks. I mean, technically it could be tomorrow.
It could be now.
Touch wood, no. It could be in 2 weeks. It could be in a month. Oh, but anyways, my point was I'm about to have a baby. So I'm either going to read nothing or I'm going to read so many books.
Yep.
Because those late night feeds, there's not much else to do. And nope. I am afraid to sleep with I normally sleep with headphones in. I fall asleep to podcasts. But I'm afraid to sleep with headphones in when I have a newborn because I'm like, is she breathing? You know, back to that. So Kindle will be hot. Oh, Morgan got me a Kindle stand.
I got you a Kindle stand.
For my baby
shower. That was another birthday present that I had planned for you.
But honestly, it's a perfect baby shower gift. I never would have thought of that. Now any reader I know, if they're having a baby, is getting a Kindle stand for late night feeds. Hands down. I already have the little remote clicker.
I know. That's why I didn't get you a clicker either.
Oh, I am ready.
Stevie has been talking about wanting to get one of those gooseneck stands for her Kindle for a long time. And you had mentioned it, I think, in like February or March again, of like, oh, it's on my list. And I was like, oh, this will make a perfect birthday present. And then again, came and went. So I got you that. I got you some audiobooks, some audiobook credits.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how like a Kindle credit worked. It was probably just an Amazon gift card.
I'd prefer not to give money to Amazon anyways.
I know. That's why I figured LibreFM gift cards were going to be the better option.
The best.
I had LibreFM, 2 audiobooks from LibreFM as a prize for the baby shower. And Stevie wound up winning that prize. So you have 5 audiobooks.
I'm about to be so well read up in this bitch.
Okay, let's sign off.
Okay. Bye, guys.
That's how you're gonna end it?
No, I'm pulling up the script. Okay. Imagine. Bye. Click. Don't even put the outro music. Just go silent. Anyways.
Right. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, you guys. That's it for this episode of the Unhinged Smut Book Club. Thanks for listening to us yap. I'm Morgan.
And I'm Stevie. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode filled with chaos, kink, and questionable literary choices.
Until next time, keep it spicy.
Bye.